Hello and welcome to the RF Workshop channel. Today's video is just going to be everything necessary to get the Suzuki TS200R riding for the first time. It's taken quite a while to break down everything into video, so I'm just going to put a bunch of work into this video so that we can get this thing done and get out for a first ride. Righto, so I've torqued everything to book spec, including the suspension linkage and the motor mounts, so it should be ready for a first ride. I'm not going to be able to hammer on it because the rear brake pad, one of them's seriously worn. The caliper can't slide sideways enough to engage both pads, so rear brake's not going to work at all. Front brake works good though, no issues there. I had to put some extra foam on the seat because the seat cover was made for a seat that's much bigger, so the seat's a bit more plush than stock, not a bad thing. Suzuki's very close to being under the seat pan though, so there's still plenty of room left in the seat cover, so that's a bit annoying. Okay, so after the first ride, the carburetor seems like it's incredibly worn. The mixture seems a bit all over the place. The idle jet feels like it's way too big. The oil injector is working correctly. Without having rear brakes, I couldn't really do anything on it. It's going to have to wait till the rear brake pads arrive and I'll put those in and take it for a proper rip. Flap there under the seats just because I haven't trimmed the excess cover. But I'm going to have to talk about this tomorrow because my head's spinning way too much at the moment. Okay, so I've had time to gather my thoughts and think about how things were. The suspension is probably the best set-up suspension I've ever ridden. This is probably the first bike I've ridden where it feels balanced both front and back. The clutch is definitely slipping though. You can see at the start when I accelerated going up the driveway. The RPMs went up as if the wheel was spinning, but I looked back and there was no line behind the bike. So I'll have to open up the side of the engine and see what the deal is. There's a few electrical gremlins I've got to fix. Apparently the tail light wasn't working at all. The low oil light, which I wired into the check engine light on the head unit, seems to always be on, so I'll have to unplug that and check it with the multimeter to see what the deal is. Neutral light switch I think will come good just by riding it. I didn't install that new boot into the front brake master cylinder because I found out this master cylinder, I don't think it's off of this bike, it's not original. I think it may be off of a Yamaha TS200R, so I'm going to wait until I get everything working correctly and see how well this master cylinder is actually going to work. In regards to the way the bike runs, down low with the carby there seems to be way too much fueling going on. Either the idle jet's been replaced with something too big, pilot screw is too many turns out, or the main jet and the carburetor's worn such that even with the slide closed there's still a bit of fuel coming through. I see that often in older worn carbies as well. However, that's going to have to be next video because looking back there is quite a lot of footage for this one already. Next video is going to be repairing the carburetor for this bike, hopefully making the bike run at least as it should or better, because I hear these bikes run pretty rich from factory to prevent them from engine damage under road use. But anyways, enough rambling. We've got the bike riding for the first time. After I fix the carby though, I'll probably take it for a proper ride with the rear brake pads as well. So that way we'll be able to get a good idea on how this thing actually performs. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.